You finally work up the energy to clean your home. For a few days, it's spotless. Then a bit of clutter creeps in, and before you know it, you're right back where you started. You put in so much effort, why does nothing seem to stick? Well, since nobody taught us how to organize, most of us do it by instinct. Clothes go in the closet, tools in the toolbox, and on the surface, this totally makes sense. Storing similar items together aligns with how we think about our stuff. The problem is, it doesn't always align with how we use it. And when your stuff isn't where you need it, that's how clutter starts. So let's look at 3 times organizing by category is making your home harder to maintain. I'll show you how to spot each one and what to change so your home can start working for you instead of against you. The first one is so common, it's the easiest one to overlook. We stopped drinking tea in our new kitchen. Teas were buried in the back of a cabinet, and making a cup became more hassle than it was worth. It took me months to realize we always reach for the Earl Grey. Why not just give it a spot up front? I had been storing teas with teas for so many years, I forgot it wasn't a rule and just my choice. And when your daily essentials don't live in reach, it drains you in more ways than you realize. Habits become harder to maintain, it's harder to track what might be running low, and every frantic search is another opportunity for clutter to spread. So next time you're reaching for one item more than the others, try separating it from the pack and moving it closer in reach. If you're hauling out the toolbox for every loose screw, can the screwdriver live nearby? If you only use a few seasonings, can you give those ones a front row seat? If the same pan is used every day, do you ever need to put it away? The only rule in organizing your home is that you can do whatever you want. Storing your teas together is just as much of a choice as keeping them apart, so just pick the one that fits your routines instead of the one that fights them. Number 2 took me the longest to figure out, even though it's how most of my clutter starts. My clothes were spending more time in piles than in my closet. Socks collected in the entryway, jackets on the couch, pajamas on the bathroom floor. I was so overwhelmed, I didn't even know where to start. Each pile seemed to have a different root cause. Until I realized this was just like the teas, but instead of ignoring how often things were used, I was ignoring where they were being used. Home base didn't have to be the closet. My clothes can live anywhere I want. So first, I hung my jackets in the bedroom so I can finalize an outfit without hauling them all across the house. Winter socks, on the other hand, moved up front where I can quickly match them with boots. Pajamas got a hook in the bathroom so they live right where I get dressed. And I gave my daily hoodie a basket because why was I running laps to the bedroom when I only use it at my desk? When your stuff doesn't live where it's used, it's more likely to get left out. Then you can't find it, so you grab a spare. The cycle repeats, and one hoodie on the couch turns into a home that feels impossible to maintain. So if you're overwhelmed by your piles, remember that most of them have the same simple fix. Instead of storing by category, store stuff where it's actually used, and it'll stop showing up as clutter everywhere in between. The last one goes against most organization advice, even though it's one of the best changes I've made in my home. You tuck the office supplies into a neat little drawer. It seems well organized, but now you're running between rooms just to finish basic tasks. So of course, you leave a few things in reach, the clutter starts to spread, and you feel guilty even though you did the best you could with your setup. So next time you're deciding where things go, instead of looking at categories, look at your desire paths and how you move through your home. Ask yourself, can you cut off a tag and toss it on the spot? Add a quick label without a trek to the office supplies? Touch up your makeup without running back across the house? Every detour adds up. Suddenly, it's the end of the day, you're wiped and surrounded by half-finished tasks. So organize around how you move, even if it means duplicating essentials in each space. It feels counterproductive, but using a bit more storage is a small price to pay for your time and your energy. Clutter gets a bad rap, but it's just your stuff not having a convenient home. So if your space keeps spiraling, try organizing around routines instead of random rules. Maybe that means clothes live in the bathroom, a screwdriver in the kitchen, or electrolytes by the front door. Storing things where you need them might feel awkward at first, but it's one less lap tomorrow and one less reason for clutter to start. What's one thing in your home that lives somewhere unexpected? I'd love to hear about it below.